Hello everyone, I'm Matt from the comics department at Forbidden Planet in London, and I'm here with the latest of my new release graphic novel recommendations. So we're going to jump straight into the DC universe of yesteryear with 52 Book 1. This was the absolutely groundbreaking, fantastic weekly series that DC released in the immediate aftermath of Infinite Crisis. This was the missing year in the DC universe at the time, where Wonder Woman, Superman, Batman had effectively disappeared off the face of the earth. No one knew what happened to them, so everyone else has to step in and fill their shoes to varying levels of success. This is where a lot of the inspiration for the new Booster Gold series that James Gunn is working on for DC Studios is expected to come from. This is the start as well of my favourite sort of Booster Gold stories. And you've got Booster Gold, we've got the Elongated Man, Ralph Dibny, we've got the debut of the Kate Kane Batwoman. And yeah, this is just great. It's from writers Jeff Johns, Mark Waid, Grant Morrison and Greg Rucka, all just bouncing ideas off each other and just creating absolute magic, all ably aided and abetted by the late great Keith Giffen, who, while workshopping stories with them, also did the art breakdowns for every single issue. That's 52 issues, one a week for a whole year. It's just an incredible body of work. And yeah, this is volume 1. It's one of my favourite series. I highly recommend grabbing it while we've got some and jumping straight into that. And then you might notice a theme developing here. We've got Booster Gold, the 2007 series, Book 1. This is the series that comes straight out of 52. So if you've already read 52 and you've not read Booster Gold, jump in on here. So you've got Jeff Johns and writer Jeff Katz joins in. And they are joined by Booster Gold creator Dan Jurgens on art. And it's just incredible. My favourite way to sum this up is the byline, just Booster Gold, the greatest hero you've never heard of. It's probably the closest you'll ever get to Booster actually developing some real responsibility and getting serious about being a hero. However, unfortunately for him, because it involves time travel and fixing the wrongs in the past, he's not allowed to let anyone know. So as much as he wants to, he can't go up to Batman, he can't go up to Wonder Woman, he can't say, actually, I'm great and I am a real hero, I promise, I've just saved the world, because it would mess up the timeline. You've got Rip Hunter, Time Master, who has some interesting developments later on in this series in regards to Booster, which I highly recommend. And you've also got the first time these issues have been collected, you've got some very early work from one of Image's top writers at the moment, Rick Remender, in here. He does a couple of issues in here, and it's great to sort of see where he starts from. And yeah, love this series as well. It takes the baton from 52 and just runs with it. It's absolutely great. Highly recommend picking this up as well. And we're sticking with DC, but we're going to one of their alternate universes. We've got Batman. Let's see if I remember the whole title. Batman White Knight Presents Generation Joker, from the Sean Gordon Murphyverse. In this one, Murphy is sort of plotting, and the script itself is written by Katana Collins, and you've got a few different artists on there. You've got Clay McCormack and Mirka Andolfo, who you may recognise from Blasphemous at the moment, from Distillery, if you've been picking that up. And yeah, this is carrying on from Beyond the White Knight, which was the last main series. And it's the story about what do the Joker and Harley Quinn's children get up to, basically. What sort of chaos do they cause? And they cause a lot of it. This could also be the last we see of the Murphyverse for a little while, as it sounds like he's going to be focusing on some creator-owned stuff for a little bit. So yeah, jump in here and see what all the hype's about. So we've got our final one from DC this go around. We've got the Vigil from Ram V and Lalit Kumar Sharma on art. As well as a few other artists, or quite a few artists, sort of jumping in and contributing some flashbacks and some character vignettes and such. This is an excellent new series, and I really hope we see these characters in the future. Ram is basically, it's Ram V creator-owned series in the trappings of the DC universe. So these are characters that he's created. It's got a bit of a Doom Patrol vibe, like can the people involved trust those that are leading them, that are directing them, that are giving them their sort of superhero missions. And yeah, I can't say too much as they're sort of all twists and turns, but I highly recommend it. If you want to see sort of new ideas, new characters in the DC universe, and you want to support them, which I highly recommend, I would, yeah, I can't think of a better place to jump in than on here. with, yeah, brand new story, brand new characters. Absolutely loved it. Can't wait to see where they pop up next. So we're going to jump over to the Marvel Universe for the one and only volume of Avengers Inc, brought to you by Al Ewing and artist Leonard Kirk. This is effectively Al Ewing doing the Avengers meets the Avengers, which doesn't make any sense as a sentence. However, if you remember John Steed and Mrs. Peel, you'll know what I'm talking about. So this is basically the Avengers doing sort of campy British spy affairs kind of thing. It's the Wasp. She finds who she thinks is the Vision. However, it's actually one of the Vision's old alter egos, Victor Shade. Victor Shade. And he's now existing completely codependently of the Vision. And the Wasp has to get to the bottom of it. This is two British creators absolutely smashing it, having the time of their lives. It's the Avengers. It's sort of that Pierce Brosnan-y kind of James Bond. It's great. It's a brilliant little genre mashup. And yeah, highly recommend it as ever. And then we're going to jump over to She-Hulk, Gensational. I have absolutely been loving this run from writer Rainbow Rowell and artist Andre Genelay. If you've read Rainbow's Runaways, then you'll know that she has a fantastic knack for not only writing the characters exactly how you think they sound, but also taking them to new and exciting places. The main sort of, or the big sort of flagship addition that Rainbow's been making to Jen's life is her romance with Jack of Hearts, who most of you might remember, if you remember him at all. From that time, he blew up all the Avengers back in Avengers Disassembled. He's been back for a little while now. He's been having his romance with She-Hulk, and it's basically like superhero rom-com with some legal drama. You've got some of the cast from Dan Slott's She-Hulk run have popped back up. This is, I've absolutely been loving this. This is a real sort of like series that it keeps going, it keeps building pace. It's got a superhero fight club where She-Hulk gets some of her villains and said, you know what, rather than all this property damage and committing crimes and stuff, why don't we just have a fight club and work it out? It's so much fun. And with Heartbreak as well. Just highly recommend it. It's a great time. And then we're going to go over to Spider-Boy, which is Dan Slott's latest addition to the Spider-Verse, as it were. This volume sort of fleshes out the character of Bailey Briggs, who was introduced in Dan Slott and Mark Bagley's last Spider-Man run. Bailey is the sidekick of Spider-Man that everyone has forgotten existed. This may sound familiar to you from when Marvel did something similar with the Sentry back during New Avengers. However, this has really stood on its own 2 feet because Bailey is a very different character. He's a young kid. I think he's about 8 or 10. And it's just that feeling of just complete abandonment and found family. And it's great. I've really enjoyed it. I've loved finding out all the new twists and turns, and you find them out as well. You learn about Bailey as Bailey basically learns about Bailey, and everyone around him either remembers or relearns or learns about Bailey for the first time. And it's great fun. Dan Slott is joined by Ty Templeton as well on art and some backup stories, which again just flesh out Bailey's place in the Marvel Universe and have some great team ups with characters like Squirrel Girl, who I absolutely love and wish we could see more of. And again, just highly recommended. Just good fun, good heart. This is classic Marvel Spider-Man stories. And then we're going to go for something completely different. We're going to hop over to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Stranger Things, which is the crossover you never knew you desperately wanted. This is absolutely great. It's 2 properties that you might not put together on paper, but as soon as you see them there, it just fits, it just works. I have particular praise for the art in this book, which I'll find you a nice like non-spoilery bit. Here we go. We've got some of the kids from Stranger Things and the Turtles beating up some mousers. I love the art in here from artist Ferro Pay. It's got a very sort of Kevin Eastman vibe to it from the original Mirage Turtles, while also standing on its own 2 feet and establishing its own identity. Again, I thought this was great. It's got that good sort of Stranger Things mystery element and fun with the turtles, and can't recommend highly enough. And then we're going to go over to House of Slaughter, which is the excellent spin-off from James Tynion and Werther Deladera's Something is Killing the Children. This has been an excellent series of largely sort of done in one arcs looking at the wider universe from Something's Killing the Children. This particular arc is brought to you by writer Sam Johns and artist Letizia Cadanici. It's all about meeting the new White Mask, this character right here who is called Bait. They are a mute child, and as I'm sure you can tell from their name, they're in no danger whatsoever, and they're really well respected and cared for. And it's actually just really lovely and friendly, and there's no blood or monsters or horror or traumatic moments at all. And yeah, this is, if you love Something's Killing the Children, if you've enjoyed the other House of Slaughter arcs, you will love this. If you haven't tried this universe out yet, this is a great jumping in point. It may be a volume 4, but as I was saying, this is a fantastic standalone arc with some ties to the wider universe. That will hopefully get you tempted to check out the other series and the other volumes in this one. And then we're going to finish up today with one final creator-owned series, which is the Cull from Kelly Thompson and artist Mattia De Luis. And this is basically sort of the Blair Witch Project meets the Famous Five, mixed in with a healthy bit of sci-fi. It's a group of friends. They think they're going to go film something together, just have a bit of fun. But one of the friends has been lying, and there may be some betrayal, there may be some broken hearts, there may be some hurt feelings, and there are definitely a lot of surprises and just great sci-fi moments. And Kelly Thompson, fantastic writer, recently finished up her run on Captain Marvel, did a fantastic few series with Jessica Jones, and yeah, big fan of hers. She's sort of the... I think until Gail Simone comes back with her X-Men relaunch soon, Kelly Thompson is the closest you can get to Gail in comics at the moment. And then just a quick word on the art. I really like the art here. I really enjoy it. And what I'm going to say now might not sound like a compliment, but I promise you it is. It has a very, very palpable uncanny valley feel to it, where it feels almost sort of photorealistic, but not quite there. And I think that's a fantastic choice from the creative team, because it just adds to that sense of unease and unreality, and it just leaves you constantly sort of a little bit ill at ease, which just contributes, just builds the world out instantly as soon as you're looking at the page. So yeah, highly recommend this. If to go back to one of my other recommendations, if you're a fan of Stranger Things, this will hit some of those same buttons. So yeah, highly recommend. That is everything for me this go around. If you like the look of anything I've been showing off today, please come and find copies of them at any of our stores throughout the country or on forbiddenplanet.com. I'll see you all next time.
If you're enjoying watching Forbidden Planet TV and you're enjoying watching us talk to the world's most interesting and accomplished filmmakers, authors, artists, musicians, creators, subscribe right here. See you soon.